The program is Robotics and Communications Systems Engineering Technology. It's a mouthful. The program is basically a very in-depth electronics program. We do all of the basic electronics, basic circuits, AC/DC, and then just expand from there onto it. So then we'll do all of wireless communications, so radios, talking with satellites. And then the robotics portion of it is where we apply all these electronics and things that we've learned to something that's actually going to do something. So it comes into the mechanical side of things. I was involved with Skills USA all through high school. I got involved my freshman year and competed in extemporaneous speaking. Took first at state in Idaho, took 14th at nationals. At the end of my sophomore year, I ran for state officer to be a state officer in Idaho and was elected and was the high school president for Skills USA Idaho. Additionally, as a state officer, I got to go to Washington, D.C., speak with congressmen, legislators about funding for professional technical education. And those skills and a lot of the leadership skills that I learned through Skills USA and time management and really just staying on top of things have been very helpful in college. I was introduced to the program my senior year of high school. Then I went to college and I actually went into mechanical engineering and did a year of engineering classes there. The biggest stumbling block was my freshman year on lower campus. I struggled with math there a lot. I've always had struggles with math. And there it was amplified in the college setting of everything is theoretical. There's not much instructor contact. It was not a good fit, and that was discouraging. But after a year there, I kind of reevaluated and decided this would be a better fit. Math is still a very big part of what we do here. It's most of what we do here, but like now, you can actually see where it applies and why it works. And that's the biggest one for me is seeing why this works. This program, just because I had seen it in high school, obviously it was here in town, but more than that, it's as far as like what we do with robotics and communications, it's really a very unique program in that. And the thing that I really like about the program is, firstly, is the depth of knowledge that we get here, how much we'll learn so we can do pretty much anything we want with the degree that we'll get. As far as like the actual hands-on, I think the interest for me is in problem solving and coming up with a unique solution to a problem, maybe a solution that somebody else hasn't thought of or wouldn't think of. We've got a 100% job placement rate. I mean, I'm guaranteed if I'm not, when I graduate, I'll have a job. It's a relief not having to worry about it. Like school is stressful, obviously, and as work, and not having to worry about well, when I'm done is there going to be a job available for me? Am I going to have to work as an unpaid intern to get job experience to get a job? I don't have to worry about that. Most of the kids that I've seen graduate while I've been here have gotten 2 or 3 or 4 job offers. So it's not even just that I'll have a job, it's that I have a choice of where I want to go and what I want to do.